this edition of the Government News Brief for Wednesday, October 12, 2016. In the news, parliamentary opposition a no-show at the 2017 pre-budget consultations, government focusing on exploiting hydrocarbons to fuel a green economy, and Guy Suku partners with the Guyana Rice Development Board to develop seed paddy at the Wales estate. Stay tuned for the details. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renetta Lafleur. Now for the details. As government pre-budget 2017 consultations continue, the main political parliamentary opposition was a no-show. Minister of Finance Winston Jordan explains.
I haven't heard from the opposition in response to the letter I sent to them since September. So I haven't heard from them, no.
There is a compulsory recall on the original Samsung Galaxy Note 7, and the Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission is advising all consumers with either an original Samsung Galaxy Note 7 or the replacement to power down and stop using the device immediately. Suppliers must also accept all returned Samsung Galaxy Note 7 devices, and the full refund must be issued to the consumer. Suppliers are also asked to halt sales of the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 or exchanges for the replacement device. A statement was issued by the Samsung on October 11, 2016, asking all of its global partners to stop sales and exchanges of the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. The company has found several cases of Note 7 phones exploding. The recalled devices have a 5 to 7 inch screen and were sold in black, blue coral, gold, platinum, and silver with a matching stylus. Samsung is printed on the top front of the phone, and Galaxy Note 7 is printed on the back of the phone. This is a compulsory recall, and suppliers found selling the device will be in contravention of the Consumer Affairs Act Part X, Recall of Goods Section 82(1). For further information, please contact the Competition and Consumers Affairs Commission on telephone numbers 219-4410 or 219-4414. Fossil fuels remain a major source of energy, but in Guyana, the focus is on exploiting hydrocarbons to fuel a green economy. Find out how in this Tiffany Rodius report.
Exploiting Guyana's newfound oil resource must be balanced against environmental responsibilities and climate change. Foreign Affairs Minister Carl Greenwich says Guyana has a responsibility to help protect the global environment. He says that as a signatory to several international agreements, Guyana must not become dependent on the oil sector. Greenwich says the revenues from the oil industry should be used to diversify to a green economy.
I believe that the greatest promise lies in ensuring that the resources are used for enabling us to diversify our economy, diversify the human resource skills and capacities that we have. So this remains, to us, a primary target in developing the resource, to make sure that exploitation of the resource goes hand in hand with the upliftment and the enhancement of the quality of the human resources.
Though it is not immediate, the transformative possibilities for Guyana's economy are vast when oil begins generating revenues. However, in developing the oil and gas sector, government must ensure that it does not fall into the resource curse, like neighboring Venezuela, Greenwich says.
So, countries with large endowments of natural resources need, therefore, to pay careful attention to governance, issues of transparency, issues of participation by national and foreign elements in the economy.
The government has announced plans to pursue a green economy, one that relies more on renewable energy to drive development. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
Consultations on lowering the age limit for acquiring a government house lot continued, with residents of Georgetown sharing their views. Delon Sanko has the details.
Several young persons use the consultation as an opportunity to voice their opinions on the subject. One of them, Thomas Griffith, agrees with the motion to have young adults own their own house lots at age 18.
I think the young people of this generation have great responsibilities at the age of 18. I think we've come to a place of maturity because of how society is at this point in time. So I think that we are capable of owning our own property
A teacher, Shabiza Douglas, says that giving young people an opportunity to own their own house lots would make them accountable persons.
Changing the policy from 21 to 18 is a great initiative since young people can do a lot of stuff like we spoke about, make certain choices, etc. at 18. So why not go for a positive choice in owning your own home? And it also gives you a sense of feeling responsible.
Other participants spoke of the difficulties that exist when the age moved from 21 to 18, since the demand would be greater. Some also spoke about reducing the price of lands. The consultation is a fulfillment of the Minister with the Responsibility of Housing, Valerie Adams-Patterson's promise to change the age of eligibility for house lots from 21 to age 18.
I did say in my budget speech 2016 and promised the young people of Guyana that I will pursue a policy that will see the age of eligibility for a house lot moving from 21 years to 18 years, and I'm very passionate about it.
Patterson says that the ministry is considering building apartments, duplex and condominiums for public servants and low-income earners. She says that this will offset the increase in the demand that will likely arise from lowering the age. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
Partnership between Gaisuku and the Guyana Rice Development Board to plant rice at Wales could be a win-win agreement that would help both the sugar and rice industries.
Converting Wales estate cane fields to rice lands could help turn Gaisuku fortunes around. Agriculture Minister Noel Holder says the agreement between the GRDB and Gaisuku would see the GRDB paying Gaisuku to use the land.
Gaisuku needs to get involved in economic activity. It is punishing, it's costing the nation over $12 billion a year. Somebody comes to them, Rice Board, and says, look, do this for me. You have the machinery, you have the land, you have everything, right? We will provide the management, the advice, we provide the seed material, we're going to pay for it. And we're going to share the profits of it with you. And Gaisuku will say, sure.
Holder says the arrangement will not require new capital from Gaisuku, but rather utilizing lands and equipment which may otherwise be idle as the highly indebted company continues its reorganization. It is a win-win situation as the GRDB needs an area where seed paddy for a special variety of rice can be planted without fear of contamination. Minister of Agriculture Noel Holder explains.
Now, seed paddy, to be pure in multiplying the seed paddy, is ideally produced in an environment that is not in the midst of other kinds of rice.
There are no other paddy fields close to Wales, making it ideal for the development of seed paddy for specialty rice. Specialty rice is in high demand and attracts premium prices on the world market. Since coming to office, the government has undertaken to reorganize the Guyana Sugar Corporation with a view to making it profitable and less dependent on government subventions, which currently stands at more than $12 billion annually. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
Steps are being taken to professionalize the New Opportunity Corps. Isaiah Braffett tells us more.
To commence the process of professionalizing the New Opportunity Corps, the services of a juvenile justice officer from the United States of America will be utilized. Assistant Director of Youth Leslie Boyce says the juvenile justice officer will be spending 3 months assessing the NOC.
Basically, what is it that she's doing is to go to NOC, do the assessment, make recommendation as it relates to the way forward and how we should more or less do things, and based on those recommendations, we would more or less be working.
Boyce says that the Ministry of Education is making steps to integrate a psychologist attached to the Skills and Knowledge for Youth Employment program to work along with the juvenile officer.
We want to more or less bring her on board, and having the juvenile justice officer coming from overseas, she would be one of the persons who would be working along because, as I said, we want to professionalize NOC. And in doing that, we need to have the right group of persons with the right skill set who understand the system, who understand how to more or less manage these young people.
To further professionalize the NOC, Minister within the Ministry of Education, Nicholas Henry, says that there will be capacity building for staff. Minister Henry says the intention is to ensure that the NOC serves its mandate of being a corrective and rehabilitative institution. For the Government News Brief, Isaiah Braffett.
The first ever National Quality Awards was today launched as part of the scheduled activities for the observance of the National Quality Week 2016, which is being held under the theme Standards Build Trust. The logo complementing the award was unveiled by new Executive Director of the Guyana National Bureau of Standards and other stakeholders, including National Standards Council Chairperson Vishnu Durga and CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality Chief Executive Officer Derek Omar. The awards will serve as a catalyst for excellence for small, medium, and large-scale businesses adapt to the language and culture of standards and quality, thereby providing better products and services. Standards connect us with reliable modes of communication, codes of practice, and trusted frameworks for cooperation. Introducing common interpretations on reciprocal sides of a communication or transaction, standards are essential to mutually benefit trade and resource-efficient international commerce. The GNBS will continue the week's observance with a number of activities to commemorate the National Quality Week with a prize-giving ceremony for essay competition for technical and vocational institutes in Guyana, launch of the National Quality Awards, business symposium to introduce standards and their benefits to businesses in Guyana, and the Staff Appreciation Day and Long Service Awards ceremony will culminate the week's activities. World Standards Day will be commemorated on October 14 with the theme chosen by the International Organization for Standardization, International Electrotechnical Commission, and the International Telecommunication for its observance Standards Build Trust. A product or service conforming to an international standard is imbued with a trusted symbol of quality, safety, or compatibility. We have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on Gina's website. Gina has an active Facebook page and we encourage you to visit and like us so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Renetta LaFleur. Thank you for watching.